All right, so here's my XLE. Can you see this? All right, so this is a thumbnail over here. You can see, at least hopefully you can see what I see, which is a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. And we're at 83.53 right now. Well, we were yesterday. Here is the 200-day at basically 82. So I still see this measured move. If I was to do a measured move, it'd basically be $3.50, roughly. Let's just say 82. So I'm going to, really, really expect an overshoot into this kind of 80 area. But you can see the Copic curve is also rolling over. We've already broken down in my stochastics. We already tapped in money flow and we're rolling down. My rate of change is also rolled over. We just haven't triggered the zero mark. All of this, my XLE says shorter. It is on support. 200 is at 82. But what this usually does is, what does it do? 50, bounce, 82, bounce, 80, bounce. It's a dance. So right now, this still says we're intonating lower. Oh, okay, so here's out of order, but here's XLE again. And it's the same kind of PMO that I showed you with that SPX chart. When it rolls over, it's a really good short. Do you remember that December 1st, right? So it doesn't always time perfectly though. But this is rolled over and it's bearish, and now it's doing it again. But we haven't had a real solid push through. So if this turns out to be a head and shoulders, all right, then I expect this to be down on this trend line. This trend line is going to take it about $76. I know this is an exercise in patience, but I still am worried, and I've written about this. It's a Q2 deal. This is way priced for perfection in oil and gas plays. They have just been hot for 2 years, and they started petering out in November of 2022. We are now in April of 2023, and they've held up. They're petering out, like you can see it, but since November, they've petered out. They're just starting to roll over. This is protection for Q2. That's all I want to say about that. I wanted to show oil. So here's oil. Obviously, that was the 65 price target short that I've had for a while. Once it broke 93, way the heck up here. Anyway, the point is we had a nice strong support, gapped up on OPEC cuts, couldn't get above 83, and obviously every area has been just so beautifully technical, right? Shimmies down, hits that resistance, breaks into the next support level, mini bounce into another resistance, breaks, fills the gap, bounces, and now it's, petering out again. So there's really just no energy in this play, and we would hope it doesn't, right? I actually know that I was very bullish, and I wrote all my reasons back in March of 2021, oil as an inflation hedge. So far, oil is just proving that it does not have enough supply cuts. It does not have enough demand. It is basically languishing in this side channel and lower. We got supported, obviously, look at that, 83, right, and change on the 50-day, but we're still at risk of rolling over. So I'm still of the opinion that this is going to be, we're going to get more testing, not so compelling right now, but oil, a little soft, nothing too exciting. XLE, it had earnings, Exxon earnings on Friday, which were, again, stellar, but it still intonates a lot of folks hiding out, and I still see a date with this trend line and then lower. Weekly inventory data for oil. I still see oil softening. I can't unsee it. This oil is now pushing below 75 crude. They're still working. And here comes oil. Very, very much a fade below not only the gap fill, right? But it's so weak, which isn't, indicative of intervention, but it's also indicative of lowering demand. Don't be surprised if OPEC surprise cuts again at some point in the future. Anyway, the point is it's coming down to 73, then 70. I still have weak sauce written all over oil. So I, again, still have weak sauce written all over oil. I've not changed in that. And it means it's going to put some pressure on XLE and the reflation trades. I still see banks moving lower, et cetera, et cetera. Here's oil on a monthly, and I still continue to see weak sauce. I can't unsee it on my CRB monthly, on my oil monthly. This is just not a bullish chart. XLE doing exactly what I saw last week, filling that gap, and I think it's going to break that level. It's just a little frustrating, I know, but it's all about just profit taking and holding out in this space. So yeah, XLE not taking any time, going right there. Right there, meaning the trend line. It's exactly this kind of little head and shoulders. Oil is weak sauce. You've heard it before. XLE continues, right, on weak sauce oil.